My name is Lidya Radin, and I'm a federal whistleblower. The judge in my case, in my federal case, in the Southern District of New York is Judge Patterson. And Judge Patterson ruled against me in May of 2005. He contradicts himself in his own ruling. For example, my school took money from student aid programs. They took a TAP grant and a Pell grant. The school had a responsibility, a fiduciary duty to manage these monies on my behalf. They had a responsibility to me. They had a fiduciary responsibility. So when I went into court and asked, I said that the school breached its contract claim to me. It was a breach of fiduciary duty. Now, because the school is entrusted with this money, the school is supposed to manage this money for my benefit. Now, here's what Judge Patterson says. He claims that I have no breach of fiduciary claim in my federal suit, that this is not an aspect of the breach of contract, that the school has no duty to me. But he says that the only fiduciary duty that the school has is to, quote, to see that these funds are properly dispersed, end quote. These funds were not properly dispersed. The state government, in the form of a TAP grant, a tuition assistance grant, gave money to my medical school. The federal government, in the form of a Pell grant, a federal Pell grant, gave money to my medical school. My school had a responsibility to see that these funds were properly dispersed, and I'm quoting Judge Patterson here. What the school did was it took the money, and I never got the classes. I never got the services. So Judge Patterson is contradicting himself in his own ruling. Of course there's a fiduciary duty from my medical school to me, the student, to manage these funds appropriately and to see that they're properly dispersed. In other words, when the school gets money for classes, the student should get the classes. If the student didn't get the classes, as was what happened to me because my academic program ultimately was canceled, then the school should refund the money to the state program and refund the money to the federal program and refund the money to me. That's not what the Albert Einstein College of Medicine did. The Albert Einstein College of Medicine took money and never gave me, the student, the classes. And the judge admits it in his May 2005 ruling. The federal judge, Judge Patterson, says that the school has a responsibility to see these funds are properly dispersed. The school has a fiduciary duty, and it's explicitly stated in the federal student loan program wherein I borrowed money. So in sum, the school took money from a federal student loan program, the school took money from a TAP, from a state grant program, student aid program called TAP, Tuition Assistance Program. The school took money from a federal Pell Grant program, and me, the student, got ripped off because I never got the classes. And you, the taxpayers, got ripped off because you paid taxes to provide these programs to students like me. The school got the money and the student never got the services. And Judge Patterson contradicts himself. There's an explicitly stated fiduciary duty in federal student loan programs, and even Judge Patterson says that the school has a responsibility to make sure that these funds are properly dispersed. They were not.